I added this little mic that hopefully will make me a little bit more audible. I think that's a camera that's looking at me now. I'll always double check. Um, I have no control person because we're in a pandemic or whatever. But yeah, I'll probably run most of this through the overhead and try to use this as much as possible. And hopefully it won't sound too crazy. And I can work some things out. So yeah. Wow. Welcome to the show. No, I'm just kidding. We're just gonna try to do some stuff. Oh yeah, here we go. Oh yeah, I can hear myself. That's killing. All right, let's switch video. And kablam! Did I do it? I did it. Fantastic. All right, so today, um, uh, actually, maybe I'll do a little bit more FaceTime. Today we're gonna do fives, right? So now or just groups of fives within a quarter note. So if our quarter note is, so basically we're doing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. All right. I've never taught this in this way, so this will be very interesting, and I'll actually talk about probably easy ways that I usually show people to find your grouping of five, because sometimes, especially in which hemisphere are we on? The Western Hemisphere, or I don't know which in America. um, we tend to do a lot of things in groups of four. So, in musically anyway, that's our comfort zone. So when you start getting into things that are outside of, even a waltz, in three, and sometimes a lot of times we have challenges in threes because I have a lot of students who can't do a triplet. Yeah. So yes, this is a good way to try to understand fives, even before you turn the metronome on. Um, just think of even notes. And all the notes that you're playing are even. I'll switch over so you can check this out. So just imagine that all your notes are even. And I'm sitting here rocking my traditional grip. Occasionally I do that. And you're just counting to five. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's sometimes the easiest way to understand getting groupings of five together. The next trick is trying to fit that within the feel of a meter. And sometimes you can do that just by kind of talking it out. I am looking around in my immediate area, and I have come here slightly unprepared. Slightly, only slightly, because, oh no, I'm just kidding. My trusty metronome. Guys, I love this metronome so much, I've bought it like 3 times. I give these away to my students, because they're great. It is like the rhythm watch, but like the small one. I don't know, if you're old school, you know the old rhythm watch. But this is like a small, tiny, handheld, clippable giant called the RW30. And now that I've shouted it out, it's gonna the battery's gonna run out. That's kind of Murphy's Law. Murphy's Law runs strong in this house, y'all. Because they're babies. So, you could take something like you could take a metronome and try to use a metronome as your crutch, and actually I don't know if this one will do that because I feel like the subdivisions are really very your basic subdivisions, so you won't run into too many of that there. But one, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. So this will do things like that. And if you're good at math, you can figure that all out. But we're still going to use the big beat And so what I would advise is before you start using your hands, try to use your voice to get these notes out. So this is our tempo. So we're doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. So right. So we have to figure out where that falls in there. So if we can do that ourselves and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Another good trick to remember, especially because it's odd, is that when you're hitting your main downbeat in each beat, it's going to be on the opposite hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, da, da. You know, I don't know. Yeah. I mean, even I have challenges with this, like getting in the full pocket of this. I've been sitting around all day. I'm gonna shake it off a little bit. Here we go. So you're gonna see me mess this up and go through the process that I go to get into my pocket. Let's do this. Practice ain't perfect, y'all. Practice ain't perfect. Oh, there's another trick to get to this point, actually, that I'm forgetting, that I use a lot of times. I use groupings of 3, so right, I kind of use that as a crutch and think of it like, yeah, so that's what so now I just have to find my pocket in there, which is a little hard because this isn't plugged into my ears. So I'm going to do that now and try to give you that metronome up here with the hi-hat. Ooh. Sorry you're going to lose it here. So now I'm feeling it a lot better. Let's see if I can play it in the big room with the sound. Might be a little challenging. I'll stick it under the mic. Maybe I can. There it is. So yeah, I mean, there's a level of anxiety with stage performance and all those things that again, like I said, I've never done that in front of people before. So haha, first time, and check off the bucket list. So, um, yeah, once you get into the pocket with that, and you can find where that grouping of 5 is, you can start getting into this exercise. So for day 26. Let's take a look. For day 26, they have 2 groups of 2-bar phrases. And the first one is a little easier than the second one. The first one is basically just you're hitting every quarter note that's being played here. I'm going to plug this back into my ears because my pocket's a little bit better when I can hear this clearly. But you're playing you're playing every downbeat, every accent there on the downbeat. In the second measure, you're playing the accent on the first beat and the third beat, which is pretty cool. Then in the second line, the second example that they have, the 2-bar exchange that they have there, you're playing it on beats 2 and 4, and then it doesn't have you playing the accent on beat 1, but then it has the accent on beat 3, 4, 2, 3, and 4. So I'll demonstrate post haste. So first, getting that quarter note together. You guys should be able to see this little light, hopefully, but I'll try to mark it here too. So that's me just marking the, the 5 strokes within each beat, right? So now I'm going to play the exercise, which will be, well, you'll hear it. So that's the exercise. Now, again, it took me a little bit to get there. My brain wasn't in 5 mode. I grew up in the United States of America. So, I'm predisposed to 4/4 a lot of times, especially because a lot of the music I record is in 4/4 as well. So, I don't use a lot of those phrasings, but maybe I should do more. So, here's my opportunity. So now we're going to do the second 2-bar phrase that they have, and the accent is on beat 2 and 4, and then again on beat 2, 3, and 4 of the following measure. So let's try to get that nailed down. All right, here we go. I'll mark myself just to be safe, so I can make sure I'm on point. Just do these 5s real quick. All right, cool. I'm in 5 mode. Cool. All right, here we go. 3 and. I'm rushing a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool. The other thing now, right? So I have this at 60. I'm supposed to be playing this a lot faster because I was looking at 27's metronome marking because they get a little more complex. So look out for tomorrow. It's going to be nice. It's going to be dope. It's actually a really cool ad that I would love to do today, but I'm not going to do. I'm going to hold back and just work on feeling in 5. So our quarter note is here. I don't know why that works, but it's great. It's so, yeah. A lot of times I just do, yeah, and just kind of try to skip 3s on each and then put the hit in between. Okay, so here we go. I'll do it again. First 2 exercises. First 1. 3 and. off-putting when you don't hit that other accent. But cool. It's a great exercise, great all-day thing to do. Yeah, these aren't just for you, man. These are for me. You know, I'm trying to get my chops back together. You know, get my wrists back in order after hanging out with the kids and all that good stuff. So let's do the second one. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. Let's mark those 5. Okay, cool. Here we go. Ah. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, cool. I will say that this, again, in the spirit of what this whole thing is about, taking a drum book and going all the way through it. This is definitely one of the deal breakers. This would have definitely been a deal breaker for me, even a few years ago, to go over. I mean, it's easy to play. It's like easy to play in 5 and just, it's kind of easier to do that than it is to do something like this for me, only because I can easily feel the groove here. And then I'm also like, using a couple of little rhythmic cues to let me know. And a lot of times the music will inform you of, things like this. The music will tell you where you can go with 5s. We have that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That whole vibe going on. So a lot of times it's easy to mark it. But when it's like sometimes it can be a little bit more challenging, or maybe easy for you, challenging for me. That's what it is. Cool. I think that's more or less what I want to say about that. So let's go into the second part, which is essentially just another type exchange, but we're actually using flams, which is pretty cool. So they're happening pretty quickly. And that's, I love flams. Flams are so easy for me. I don't know. I just like the way we get along. Anyway, let's see. Add the set. Cool. Yeah, it's just flams. That's really all you're doing. And then starting with the bass drum. The cool thing with this is you can take a lot of the application that you got from yesterday, or from the previous example, and apply it a number of different ways. You can do the that's a little tricky. But that's on the most basic level. You can split drums, and do things like that. But the basic exercise is so 1, 2, 3, and exercise goes starts with the bass drum. So now I'm doing this quickly, assuming that you've done up to this day. So maybe this might be easy, but this might be challenge. This might be something you've never done before. You know, just like again, the reason why people stop going through a book, you know, and say, okay, I'm gonna move on to another book I like. So to slow it down, you're just doing your flam, and hopefully, if you don't remember how to do the flam, go back in the lessons to where the flams are. To flam day. What day was flams? We're gonna go in here and look. I'm gonna look here for you, just so you know. Flams. I think flams came on pretty early, because I remember saying, "Oh man, I told you there wouldn't be surprises." Day 5. Yeah, day 5 is where flams are first introduced. So you can go back to day 5 and re-review that before getting here. There, all of these things you can always kind of backtrack to get a good reference. And for every single exercise, this book actually suggests this as well, that you do the warm-ups on the first few pages. So pages 12, 13, 14, 15, just go through those pages first before even doing the day. But yeah, that's that's something you can probably almost even memorize, depending on how good you get at it. But so yeah, that's what you have. And that's pretty cool. Like, so I mean, a cool thing would be trying to see how if you can get it at the speed that they're asking for, 90. Trying to put them together. That was messy. That's a little better. Bump up the tempo. Let's see. I'm gonna go to 120. Let's see what that feels like. 1, 2, 3. That one's a little challenging for me, but definitely that's more my steady pace. That's where I should be trying to do something like this. Yeah, and trying to hold that. The whole idea is trying to hold something for some level of endurance. Stretch those muscles out. Get that heart pumping. Get your mind working on how to do transitions quickly. Yeah. On that. So that's good though. I mean, I should, at least find some level of ceiling. You might hear my dog Sneakers barking in the back. He is not cool about not being involved in these things. But anyway, yeah, that's day 26. Those 5s, and then also that. So yeah, I mean, even with the 5s, at 20 beats per minute, so finding your 5 at different speeds, you know? Ooh. Ah. You know? So that actually ends up being 5. That ends up being 5. That ends up being fine. And also 5. So, yep. Thanks for joining me, and I hope that this was helpful. Hit me in the comments below. Subscribe to this so that you can get the last few days. And at the end of this 30 days, there will be more. We'll still be going through a book. As a matter of fact, this book has another 30 days on it. It has 2 programs in it. So maybe I'll take a day break, so that people can unfry their brains. People, I'm people. And and then yeah, we'll go through the rest of this book and then kick it into some other very cool books that I really love, that are special to me. Some things that kind of define the way that I play now. This is a book that, again, this is as fresh to me as it is to you guys. It's a 30-day drum workout book by Pete Sweeney. So check that joint out. And yep, that's all I got for you guys. Have a great evening. I'm going to get back and do some work, and then go hang out with my family and do all the things that human beings do. So, peace. And then this is going to be me walking all the way around to my